Guys, I will always try to bring you the best content on this channel and go to the best car shows, but I'm pretty confident today is the best car show we will ever see, including in the future, on this channel, because what I'm looking at right now is absolutely unreal. So we're at Vegas Concours, and as you can tell behind me, there's a bunch of hypercars, but this is like a tiny fraction of what's here. What I'm looking at in front of me is crazy, but we'll get to that. But let's start off, because Vegas Concours is here is, I think, gonna be the greatest car show of all time. So again, we've seen most of these cars yesterday, like the Crystal Valkyrie, but again, now in the daytime, this thing looks crazy. Look at the reflections and everything. We saw the car week 2, saw this Ford GT2. I mean, we've seen, I think, every car in this little part of the show, but just give you a little glance here so you know what I'm talking about. We got a Senna GTR road legal, the world record Koenigsegg RS, McLaren P1, 2, not 1, but 2 SSC Tuataras. I don't think I've seen either one of these before. Now, for the JDM people here, I did miss this car yesterday in the Sunset GT meet, but this is a 400R R33 and an R34 as well right next to it. So there's so much of the show. As you can see, there's more cars there, there's the cars there, but going down here, we have a Gunther Works next to a Koenigsegg Regera, next to a McLaren Speedtail, next to whatever this recreation Aston Martin thing is. I don't really know, but if you guys know, definitely let me know in the comments. And we have Koenigsegg Agera RS Vader and Thor right behind it, 2 Agera RSs, the matte orange McLaren P1 that we saw yesterday with the LM style wheels. Honestly, really looks like a McLaren F1 LM spec wise. Then this carbon and red Senna we saw yesterday, but in the sunlight you can see the texture from the carbon. It looks absolutely wild. And look at these wheels. I've never seen another Senna with wheels like that. It actually looks great. Then another carbon Koenigsegg, you know, 1, 2, 3 all carbon Koenigsegg's in one section. This one is the Regera. Another Gunther Works, this kind of retro Alfa Romeo thing. Again, I don't really know too much about this, so if you guys know, let me know in the comments. The McLaren 720S, this one had underglow, which I gotta appreciate. Full carbon body GT500. This is actually really freaking cool with the blue accents as well. Looks amazing. Now, this Ferrari SF90 XX with red carbon fiber. This spec is amazing. We're starting to see a lot more of these cars, whereas the regular SF90s are really losing a lot of value. These things are like, I think, like double MSRP. And then we have a 959 right here and a Ferrari F12 TDF. But a lot of you might not know what this thing is. But roof, CTR3. This thing, I think, did like 250 miles an hour. The current owner, Faster LLC, purchased it at Moto. We were there for that, so we saw the car there too. But the matte silver on red looks incredible, especially with the silver wheels. Roof scoop, everything looks so good. Now, when a car show has a Bugatti or 2 or maybe 3, it's a really good car show, but when it has what's over here, you really start questioning what a good car show is. So we're starting off with this red 16.4. We saw it last night as well at Sunset GT. Then beside that, we have this Vitesse. I don't think I've ever seen this Vitesse. Gray black accents with red interior, and then this Vitesse looks so good. Perfect spec for Halloween. Too bad we didn't see it yesterday. Black with the orange accents. Now this, one of my favorite Vitesses, but my favorite one is here too, I think. So blue interior, matte gray, carbon with a gloss gray in the back. One of the best specs out there. Now this car, fun fact, is Arnold Schwarzenegger's old Bugatti Veyron Vitesse. A lot of pictures of him driving this around. And then next to that, another Vitesse. I mean, it really makes you think that these cars are just like common cars that you see around. The blue carbon fiber is incredible with this kind of like white cream two-tone. And then next to that is another Vitesse. So white, black interior, pretty simple, but great. Now look at this. This is not a regular Veyron. Carbon body with this blue carbon fiber Super Sport. So you can tell the Super Sport because, as you can see, all of these Veyrons have these intakes that's kind of stick out a little bit. This one, they're built into the body to help top speed and reduce drag. Another Super Sport right here. Now, this is not a World Record Edition car, but it is spec to look like one. The World Record Edition cars, 2 factors that kind of differentiate them, which is the badge will be black, same with the Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus, and the interior would be black. Here, weirdly, one of the rarest variants is a Grand Sport that is not a Vitesse. Very rare to see. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. And here is a later Veyron 16.4. Now, you can tell it's a later Veyron 16.4 because, actually, no, never mind. This is a Grand Sport. My bad. So you can tell by the headlights as well, but I didn't really see the roof, but this is convertible as well. Now, of course, at Bully and VinWikis, Veyron Grand Sport as well. I mean, for the fact that a regular Grand Sport is very rare to find, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least. There's probably more around the show. There's this one as well with the red accents. But I mean, this is wild. How many Bugattis can you have in one show? And then this yellow one right here as well looks incredible with the brown interior, and another 16.4 right here. So here we got 2 more Veyrons 16.4s. This one is almost a launch spec except for these wheels. These wheels are from a way later car, but original headlights and everything. This is the launch spec for the car. But this right here, I think this car actually a lot of times is in Monterey, but we've never got a chance to see it in Monterey. They kind of like brushed aluminum or chrome in the bottom with the blue and black two-tone. Looks incredible. Then we have this all black, but with the new headlights. So these are the Grand Sport headlights, but on a 16.4. Then we have another one right here. Now, I don't know for sure, but from the look of it, I think this might be an old Toronto car because with the all blacked out look, we still have one of those in town. Then another 16.4 right here. The silver with black also, sorry, we're kind of next to a speaker, so it's a little bit loud here. Then blue with kind of like silver two-tone. I think this may be a Connecticut car that we have seen there during the Christmas Cars and Coffee on Greenwich Avenue. I don't know for sure if it's a car, but it kind of looks like it. And we got another 16.4 right here next to another one. Now, I don't think this is the one that also came out of Toronto. We had another similar one to this, but all black with silver wheels, kind of a common spec on these. And another kind of twin to this car right here. Another blue and black. Now, I thought the one all the way over there, which we will get to, was Hoovie's car, but maybe it's this one. They're like both blue interior, pretty much the same spec. Now, this blue and white one looks really good, but the thing I really like about this one specifically, the white accent on the wheels. It's actually really cool to kind of match the whole car. Then another one with the black wheels, but this one does not have the black grille. Very nice. And then, if you couldn't get any flashier, we got a gold Bugatti Veyron with gold wheels, HREs. I mean, this is probably as flashy as you can get on a car, but I respect it. Then we got another gray and black one, 16.4. I mean, here we're just kind of in a section, I guess, of 16.4s. Another blue and black one, this one with a brown interior, and I believe it's a darker blue than the other ones. And another all black ones, and I believe this one has actually Vitesse or Grand Sport wheels. And just when you thought these were the Bugatti lineup, no, we got more Bugattis. So let's keep going. Here we have another full blue carbon body Super Sport. You can tell by the intakes right here, and also on a regular Bugatti like the Vitesse right here, you can see the full engine bay here. Kind of keeps going here and almost covers the engine. But next to this Super Sport is a Sang Noir. Now, I don't think this is the old Toronto car because there used to be an old Toronto car famously owned by Drake. I think this is a matching spec. I don't think it's the exact car. And then here we have another Vitesse. This matte gray actually looks so good. Next to another Sang Noir, I believe. But this one with a black interior, correct me if I'm wrong, it might just be, or is it black interior? So I have sunglasses on, brown interior, but another one right here. Now this car is absolutely crazy. This Vitesse with this crazy, this is all paint. And it's started to become common on some of the cars. So there's red ones like this, black ones, same thing with even this Chiron Super Sports. And we also have Zach Brell in the house.
Hello.
What do you think of this?
It's probably the most incredible gathering of Veyrons to ever exist.
I think this
done again.
I don't know if you'll agree with me. I think this might be the greatest car show of all time, and I don't think it's gonna ever be topped, just quantity and quality of cars wise.
Yeah, the lawn, easily the most impressive lawn I've ever seen.
And I don't think it could ever be topped. So they kind of have everything.
North America, I'd agree with you.
You think outside of North America there'll be something to compete with this?
There's a couple that come to mind, like the Riyadh Concourse a few years ago.
Yeah.
They had every Legend Edition Veyron, which is pretty special.
Yeah.
And they had a ton of cars, but yeah, this is like for a single car to like showcase.
Crazy.
Come on, man. There's 40 Veyrons.
Yeah.
It's like
it's
that's
nuts.
That's an insane number.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
put it up there.
So keeping going now, we have this other Vitesse. I mean, it's a significant percentage of production is here, but this carbon and blue Vitesse, absolutely awesome. Now, we were talking about that Veyron Super Sport over there where I said that is not a real world record edition, but it's still kind of spec to be a tribute to that. Here's a real world record edition. So the differences I talked about, the black badge right here and the black interior. So very subtle differences, but if you know, you know. And then here we have a Mistral full carbon body with this white interior and slight red accents on the middle of the car and the middle of the seats. Now this car we know very well, the Super Sport, VTM and Sparky. So we've seen this car quite a bit recently, but blue carbon fiber, blue decals. I think it's the last Chiron Super Sport to leave the factory. And this car, I think, may have been in Canada before, but the livery is crazy with the brown interior, another Vitesse, the blue wheels, absolutely wild. And then another Grand Sport right here. I'm sorry, guys, it's not going to end. But another Grand Sport right here, kind of a Panda spec on this one. And then here, like, I think this car was in Montreal, maybe not the specific one, it's a Legends Edition car, but the blue and the blue carbon looks incredible on this Vitesse. And here, I don't know if any other people that watch my channel played Test Drive Unlimited 2, but I forgot what this exact variant's called, but this was in that game, and I'll forever remember that. But the kind of brushed aluminum with the blue carbon fiber, two-tone on this Grand Sport, absolutely incredible. And here we are standing next to two more Chiron Super Sports. So this one, we've seen at Car Week, absolutely wild car. We saw it when it got delivered, I believe. And another one right here, similar livery, but this one is red with orange accents. This one is carbon with the blue accents. Moving on here, this is my favorite Bugatti Veyron of all time, this Legend Edition. I don't know if I think I was doing YouTube at the time, but this is, I'm talking like 2021. We went to see this car in Connecticut, the brushed aluminum and the blue with the brown interior. This car has like 400 miles, and it's so scary to drive a car with the brushed aluminum body, because if there's any dents or anything, you pretty much got to refinish the whole body of the car. But spec wise, I think this is the best one out there. Again, we're still going. It's crazy how long I can go on with Bugattis for, but another Grand Sport right here, almost the same spec as the Schwarzenegger car, but not a Vitesse. And speaking of Vitesse, next to that, again, we're not short on Vitesses. This is crazy. So let's keep moving, because we're not done with Bugattis yet. Just not done at all. We have a white Chiron Super Sport next to this carbon Chiron Super Sport with blue accents. Like, it's absolutely wild. Then a regular Chiron right here. I believe we've seen this one in many events before. And then a Poor Sport, we saw this last night. But the cool thing about this Poor Sport, if you look inside, one seat is black and one seat is red. And then, of course, just for good measure, we got another Poor Sport right here. And for good measure, we got two more Mistrals right here, just to make sure, you know, you guys are not missing any Bugattis. So we got the silver one right here and the black one with the roof on, which I don't think I've ever seen a Mistral with a roof on. And so it's not black, it is a carbon body, but I don't know how much that roof is actually going to hold. But I mean, we're just at the Bugatti lineup. Keep watching for the video, because if you can see over there, it still gets even more crazy. So now, moving on from the Bugattis, we are getting into some Paganis. So we have the orange Zonda S that we saw yesterday, another Zonda right here. I believe this is an F. The red with the gold wheels looks incredible, and another F right over here. Then we have a Zonda S, a Zonda Revolution, and a Pagani Utopia right here. We saw this yesterday. Next to another Utopia, and guess what? Another Utopia right here. Now this one, we've seen a lot at Car Week. The owner of this car has this, a Zonda and a Huayra, drives them regularly. So I know the Huayra Roadster has, I think, over 60,000 miles. This thing already probably close to around 10, maybe more. Then here we have, I believe this is an Imola Roadster next to another one right here. The brown carbon looks incredible, but look at these cars. This is so nice. The brown carbon sticks out so much, especially with these wheels. I've never seen another Pagani with wheels kind of that style, but very, very nice. The interior on these cars is unbelievable, and I think for me, anything roadster with a roof scoop is just so cool. And I just noticed, guys, you guys are gonna click off at any point. I mean, keeps going there, keeps going there. Look at that. But we're gonna stay here for now. Another Imola. Now this color, absolutely wild. Color shift, blue, purple, orange, like everything is in this color. Next to a Roadster BC. We've seen this car quite a bit. Now the spec on this Roadster BC I've never seen before. Kind of like a green carbon fiber with all these gold accents. Like the attention to detail with Pagani is unbelievable. Look at these gold mirrors. I've never seen this car before. I don't know if we'll see it again. Some of these cars literally came out of absolutely nowhere. Another Roadster BC right here, the blue carbon with the red accents and the bare carbon in the middle. Again, we know this Huayra BC very well. Before I ever had a YouTube channel, we actually went for the delivery of this car back in 2017. Then after that, another BC right here. The blue carbon looks incredible. Then Machina Volante right here. So this one has like all the bits and pieces, has kind of the Cinque style scoops on the side, has a roof scoop, the blue carbon fiber. Everything on this car is so freaking nice. Now another Huayra Roadster. This one is getting clean right now, but the spec is so nice. The white with the white interior, blue carbon fiber in the middle with some yellow accents. Now I just spoke about the Huayra Roadster that has over 60,000 miles, and here it is. And honestly, you could not even tell. This car looks pristine, but gets daily driven more than I think any car I own that I drive. Another one of this is kind of the more common spec on the Huayra Roadsters, the blue carbon fiber with the red interior, but still looks incredible. Another Huayra Roadster right here, red with bare carbon fiber, and right here, Huayra Roadster Tempesta. So you can see this one is a little bit more aggressive than the regular Roadsters. It has almost looks like a BC, but more aggressive front. We have a bigger wing. We have a roof scoop as well. Anything, again, convertible with a roof scoop is just so cool. Now, this Huayra right here, I believe, also has the Tempesta package too. I'm not 100% sure, but it has the roof scoop, the spoiler. But I'm a big fan of painted Paganis because, honestly, as you see, a good majority of them are carbon bodies. So when you see a painted one, it's a bit refreshing. And this one has the nice brown interior. And speaking of carbon fiber bodies, this one, again, I don't think I've seen this before. There's a lot of cars here that I've never seen at any other events. But the carbon fiber work on these cars is unbelievable. Now, this one doesn't even have the Tempesta package, which is rare to see. And I love that because the one next to it as well, no Tempesta. So that has a smaller front lip, different wheels, different exhaust. Now, the exhaust sounds more aggressive on the Tempesta cars, but this, all you hear is turbo noise, and I love it. Now, the King, this car, we've been around for probably 10 years at this point. Came to Toronto a few times before as well, so we've seen it all around the world. And this one right here is, I believe, Ella. So this was the press car. This used to go around to all the auto shows. It used to not have the spoiler, just kind of evolved over the years with the Tempesta packages and everything that came out for the car. Now, this right here is so cool. AMG 1, now, I think every single one that's been seen really has been black or silver. Kind of a little, I don't want to say boring because it's still an AMG 1, but to have a bright color like solar beam yellow, this thing is so cool. And the fact that it gets driven on the streets, even cooler. Next to that is a Ford GT. Now, speaking of Ford GT, look at this. From far, it might just look like some wide body Ford GT with a spoiler, but if you look closer, look at this carbon fiber, full body carbon fiber on an 05 or 06 Ford GT. Even the interior is completely different. I'm sure a lot is done to this car, and it's definitely not stock. And then here we have, let me see what this is, because it looks like a recreation of like an older 911. Has a new bucket seat still, 2025 992. I don't really know what the deal is with this, but it's really cool. Next has a GT2 RS, SLS, and a McLaren 600 LT. But we're gonna keep moving because the show literally does not. Actually, we have some more cars here we didn't see. We have an Aston Martin Valkyrie, black with, it looks like red carbon fiber accents. Then we have the black McLaren Speedtail next to that. And next to that, we have another Koenigsegg Agera RX. I believe this is Phoenix. Yes, it is. And next to that is a McLaren Elva. Now, this is really cool. Walking over to the next section, walking over this little bridge with a pond right here. And let's keep moving. So we have the Pagani stand right here because, you know, the Paganis there were just not enough. So we have the Catalunga right here. I think based on a Utopia, I'm not too sure to be honest, but I heard about what's getting unveiled here, but you guys will have to wait till later in the video to see that when they take the cover off. But we got here a Utopia in white, another one in yellow, the orange Huayra Roadster. I mean, the cars just don't stop. Another Huayra Roadster right here. I believe this is Tempesta package as well. And then this one, yeah, I believe also Tempesta. And an Imola Roadster right here next to an Imola Coupe. Now, this one I've seen somewhere recently. I feel this is one of my favorite specs. The matte carbon, normally I'm not a big fan of matte carbon, but here it looks so good, especially with the gold wheels, the red accents. I mean, this is so nice. This spec is crazy. Carbon fiber with yellow accents, even around the wheels, calipers, down to every little detail, even in the interior. Now, back to the more simple days, we got the Zondas here. So we have the Zonda F, the Zonda C12. I mean, for me, if I had to pick a Zonda, as much as the performance on the newer cars is a lot better, I would go with the original, the C12. Now here we have a Zonda F, carbon with yellow interior. Fun fact, this car was actually at one point the Nürburgring lap record holder, 7 minutes and 27 seconds, a long time ago. And the final Zonda, a Rivet Dirty, silver carbon fiber, came out at Car Week about a year and a half ago, and we've been seeing it a little bit, which is nice to see because I didn't know if this car is ever going to really see the light of day after Car Week, but luckily we keep seeing it. So we have the new Bugatti Tourbillon right here. I think this is still the prototype car. I don't think this car actually properly drives, but soon enough, hopefully we'll see them on the roads. Then we have the Mistral right here. I think that's like 4 or 5 Mistrals here. The red looks great on the car. Then we have the Bolide as well. Absolute crazy monster of a track car, not road legal, obviously, as you can tell. Then the number 300 Veyron Supersport, one of my favorite specs on a Supersport. Now they're moving also some Koenigseggs here, so we have the Vader and Thor that we just saw over there got moved over here, and 110, very cool EB110 tribute. I think they made 10 of these. And then we got a red Devo right here, one of 40, and another Chiron Supersport. The white and red actually looks so cool. Again, I don't think I've seen a lot of these cars at any other car shows. I think these are cars that were kind of hidden away in a lot of private collections that have come out for this. But yeah, the Koenigseggs are being moved to be right here. We've seen pretty much most of these, but it's very cool. I mean, look at the size of the show, and we still got way more to go. This is unbelievable. Let's keep moving so we can see everything before the place gets really crowded. Now, I guess McLaren is unveiling something as well. So here we have a CLK DTM, and HW, I guess later on, is going to unveil something too. So we'll see that. Gunther Works has something pretty cool here that I haven't seen before. Let's keep it moving. But yeah, we got a Bentley stand. So here a lot of stuff is a little bit more normal. Kind of skipped some of the highlights here, even though everything here is pretty incredible. So here we have the Lotus hypercar, the Avija. So it's like a 2,000 horsepower electric hypercar. Now the one thing that I don't want to say I want to fault Lotus for, but I think to a normal person, if you're going to spend whatever $2 million or whatever this costs, to a regular person, a Mira, this kind of looks kind of the same, I think, to a regular person. And then another 2,000 horsepower electric hypercar, the Pininfarina Battista right here. So here we have the Gumper Polo. Now the thing about this car that I don't think people realize, because I think the people that made this car kind of famous are Top Gear. For back then saying that the car was ugly, I personally don't agree with that. I think it's actually a really cool looking car, and the significance and how iconic this car is and how special it is. You'd think these cars are worth in the millions, but I think this is the next car to get there, because from what I heard, these are very far away from being $1 million. So if you can find one, grab one now, because this thing's gonna fly up in value, especially considering the new Apollos that carry the name of this are the IEs that are multi-million-dollar hypercars. So we're now in a section where it kind of does look like a regular concourse event, not as crazy as that, but if you really look closely, there's some very, very special cars here. So let's go take a look at them. Now, everyone around my age knows four-door Aston Martins as the Rapide, but before the Rapide came out, I remember growing up as a child and seeing this weird looking, very long, very low thing from Aston Martin called the Lagonda. And it's right here. You almost never see these things. I don't think they're worth crazy money, but you just never see them. They're so like quirky and unique. And we just talked about undervalued cars with the Gumper Polo. Another one that I've been preaching for years is the XJ220. My third ever video on this channel was a review of an XJ220, driving it and everything. These things competed with EB110s, F40s, even McLaren F1s, yet these cars are a fraction of the price of those. And if anything, they're more rare than a lot of those. So if you guys have the money, you're looking for a good investment with a car, as much as you don't buy cars for investments, this is so much fun to drive when it works, which is kind of the problem, but it's gonna fly up in value. It's also so cool walking here and you just see the Vegas Sphere like right there. Like what? So unreal. But here, green Diablo SE30, one of the best specs. I believe this is the one that went through curated, but I'm not 100%. Actually, yeah, definitely is the one that went through curated. This is such an unreal spec. And then a 350 GT as well, and a 400 2+2 Lamborghini Urraco as well. Now here we get to some of the big boys. We have two Miuras right here. The first one is just a regular Miura, orange, very nice, but a white on gold Miura SV. It truly does not get any better than this, in my opinion. I think this is this and maybe an Alfa Romeo 8C in my opinion, but probably this best looking car ever made. Kind of, if I had to pick a specific unit, this one right here in white, it just looks incredible. Now guys, if it's getting kind of stale for you or the cars here are not up to par with the cars over there, stay tuned, because when we go over there, apparently it gets even crazier. There's going to be some unreal things. I know this video is long, but trust me, it is worth it. I don't think we'll ever in our lifetime see a car show as good as this, but let's keep moving, because some very special cars here, like this 550 Barchetta next to the Daytona Spider, next to a 275 right here. It just keeps going forever. Like the cars that deserve so much attention, you can't give them the attention that they deserve, because there's so many more cars that deserve attention. Here we have a 348 LM next to a US spec Ferrari F40 again. Gotta keep moving fast, because if you look on the other side, let's get closer to that. So for the people that thought a LaFerrari is not exciting enough, there's the FXXK Evo, the track-only LaFerrari race car pretty much. I mean, really does not get any crazier for track-only cars than this. See, it's crazy because I'm seeing an SLR and an SLS there, which are really nice. Also a 300 SL, and I'm almost debating in my head, is it worth the walk at this show to go see them? But honestly, I love the SLR. I'm gonna go see it, but I mean, in comparison, it's sad to say in comparison to everything else here, they're very cool cars, but I mean, you know, you can tell. So we have a Pagoda SL next to this white SLS. You don't see a lot of SLS gull wings in white. Looks incredible, one of the better looking cars ever made. And another one that kind of fits that criteria is the SLR. I think these cars are so undervalued. Obviously, maintenance is a bit of a problem on them. They get very expensive to maintain. And also, the big problem with it is that the competitors, the Enzo and the Carrera GT, you know, the Enzo is obviously the Enzo. The Carrera GT had that very iconic transmission, but this 5-speed automatic kind of held the car back in value a little bit, but I still think this car should be worth a lot more than it is. Now, you can't have a concourse show without a 300 SL gull wing. Now, what I'm looking at right now is absolutely unreal. So one of everybody's favorite brands. We pretty much have every single great car that they have ever made, ever, including one-offs, two-offs, three, whatever it is. The greatest cars that this brand has ever made are right in front of me. Let me turn the camera around. You walk in here and the first car that faces you is a Sesto Elemento. Based off the Gallardo, but way lighter. Weighs pretty much as much as a Lotus Elise, but with that V10. There supposedly were going to be 20 made. They don't really know the exact numbers of how many cars made. The number I keep hearing the most frequently is 6 ever made. Then we have a Diablo GTR, I believe. And then across from that, come on, the 1 of 20 Lamborghini Reventon. And no, this is not the only Reventon here. Then we have the Monaco Grand Prix pace car, Lamborghini Countach, next to this Lamborghini Espada. Now, when we talk about 4-seater supercars, a lot of cars put in back seats and just say it's a 4-seater, but the Lamborghini Espada was legitimately a 4-seater with legroom. And then let's keep moving because we have the 1 of 19 Lamborghini Sian Roadster. Going back to the classics, we have 2 Lamborghini Miuras right over here. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've not heard of this car. I've seen this car before. If you guys know what this is, let me know. It looks like a 350 or 400 GT, but with a different front end. 4-seater, but not like the Espada. Then we have a 25th anniversary Countach next to another Lamborghini Reventon. And next to that, surprisingly, is what might be more rare than a Lamborghini Reventon, because this is not just any LP640 Roadster. If we look inside, this is a gated manual, 1 of 10 in North America, LP640 Roadster. Then we have a Lamborghini Diablo SVR next to a Revuelto US Performante. They pretty much have everything here. Now, this is a Gallardo Performante. Now, it is not a regular one because those pretty common. You wouldn't expect to see that here, but they made 3 with this very special option right here, a gated manual transmission. You see the theme here. Now, another Revuelto, but we saw this car yesterday as well. So this is a real Murcielago SV, manual transmission Murcielago SVs. They only made 6 or 7 of, but this one got converted, which I do appreciate more than someone taking a non-SV and converting it to look like an SV. When it's a real SV and it's converted to a manual, I do appreciate that a lot more. And then we have a color shift Aventador SV Roadster next to this Diablo 6.0. Now, I know you guys see what's over there. Don't worry, we're gonna get to that. Okay, so I guess this is like Lamborghini's peak right here. We got the 1 of 3 Veneno. Now, we've seen 2 of them on the channel. There's 1 more in Asia that we have not seen yet, but this one is the most unique one, if you could get more unique talking about a Veneno, because this is the only one that has kind of like the concept mirrors, where they're a lot thinner than the regular car. The rest of them have regular Aventador mirrors, but 1 of 3. This is probably the only one that actually gets driven once in a while. But this is the green accents. The one in Canada is the red accents. We've seen that one a lot. And then there's one in Asia with white accents, and the one in the factory is not the same, different headlights, but it has red accents as well. So here we have an orange Diablo GT, but I said there's going to be 1-offs here. And I know 3 ofs, you might have thought that I meant that, but no, we got a Diablo GT2. The only one in the world. This used to be a factory car. Now it's here from Curated. Another 1-off next to it, the Concept S. Now, funny enough, this car, little known, but this car used to be in, not Toronto, but in Ontario, very close to where we live, for a very long time, but nobody really knew about that. And then we have a Countach right here, 1 of 112 SVJ, then another Countach next to that. And guys, there's some more cars all the way over there. We'll get to, there's too many cars here, guys. I'm sorry, but there's way too many cars here. Another Countach right here, another old Countach right here, 119 Sian Roadster right there, another one right there, and then another, the Diablo thing we already saw, Centenario Roadster, 1 of 20 full carbon body. But if that's not enough, there's all the way there, you can kind of see the roof line, a Centenario coupe. We'll go check that out. But guys, like, I don't know what to do because I got like 10 minutes before the public comes in. It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna go get that. There's a whole other lot there, and there's also a McLaren F1 that we're gonna go see. Walked all the way here. No, it's not for this Huracan, it's for the Centenario coupe right here. Absolutely wild. This car show has every possible car you can ever want to see is here. It just is. Like, there's nothing you would want to see that's not here. Hey guys, I'm not gonna lie, I went over this hill. I don't want to say I'm upset, but I was like, damn, like, I was hoping I'm gonna go over this hill and just see a bunch of random supercars that we don't really need to film, you know, nothing special, because honestly, like, this video is so long. But yeah, there's some serious cars down here, so let's go through some of the highlights down here. Casual Diablo 6.0 just parked over here, and we got another gated manual LP640 right here. I mean, Yeah, it does not end. Let's keep going. Diablo GT, one of 80. This crazy color and STO. I mean, every car here is worth filming. Now, first gen Murcielago, I'm guessing if it's here. Let's see. Yep, it is. Gated manual transmission. What? Every car here is special. Two Aventador SVJs. I have not seen one of these in years. A Super Trofeo Stradale, one of the final variants of the Gallardo. Now, I believe this is a gated conversion because if you can kind of see, it's a lot shorter than a regular shifter in a Gallardo, but comment if you know if it is or isn't. STO right there, like a police livery on a Huracan. Another STO. Now, I don't know, man. These cars are so special. We got an Aventador SV and we got an LP640 Roadster. I'm going to say it's probably not a manual, but at this show, you know, who knows? Let's see. Yeah, not a manual, at least this one. But, like, tucked away, hidden, as if it's just another Aventador. We have another new Countach. This is wild. Revuelto, another STO. Let's keep walking, guys. This is unbelievable. Performante Diablo SC30 just casually thrown in here. Aventador SVJ 63. Performante Spider, Aventador SV Roadster, and a first gen Diablo with a bird on the wing. Check that out. And then one of the more rare variants of the Aventador, the Ultimate Roadster, one of 250 with the SVJ powertrain, but look a lot cleaner, no spoilers, no nothing like that. Lineup of Urses, which honestly, sorry to sound kind of cocky, but we can skip this because there's way too many good cars here. Aventador SV Coupe in red, Aventador SV Roadster in red. Here we have a Gallardo Balboni edition. Let's see, a few of these came in manual. This one, no, E-gear. And another Performante right here, and a lineup of some serious cars here. Let's go take a look. Another Diablo SC30 and SC30 Purple. Sorry, they're doing the announcements because the show just started. And an LP640. What we're going to do every LP640 at this show, we do have to check it out. And look at that. Another gated manual LP640. This is wild. Then we have a Gallardo right here. I'm not sure if this is the Stradmans or not. Very good chance it is. No, it's not. This one is an E-gear. And another LP640. Let's check it out. What do we think? Boom. Another gated manual LP640. But look at that. There's another LP640 right here. We have to go check it out. Now, we're going to take a look because of this show again. Boom. Gated manual. This is absolutely wild. Almost every LP640 we're checking is a gated manual. Now we have the Stradman's Aventador Coupe with the full carbon body. Another Aventador right here. And the pink Aventador as well. The Stradman's, the Roadster, this one. And this crazy body kit on this Revuelto right here. But, man, like, this is... I didn't even think there's going to be anything crazy. I thought this is, like, the kind of overflow lot. But it is absolutely not. And we got the SVJ here. STO. 25th Countach. Crazy color on this STO. Another SVJ 63. This is unbelievable. Look at this crazy color on this Urus. Then we have this STO right here. Keep moving because guess what? After this STO, we got another SVJ Roadster. And look at that angle. Look how it's parked. What? This thing is like in the air. Then another STO. Crazy body kit on this Huracan. Almost literally looks like a Revuelto with this body kit. Next out, of course, a Revuelto. Another one. I mean, I wonder what percentage of Lamborghini sales in North America is at this show right now because this is crazy. Moving on, we have another SV Roadster right here. STO Ultimate. I mean, this does not stop. SVJ right there, I didn't even notice it. Now, apparently there's a few more areas of the show we haven't discovered yet, so let's go check them out. The one thing I gotta say, we are definitely getting our steps in today. Literally, every time you think you're in the final lot, it keeps going. I mean, I've never seen a show this big, and I've never seen a show this cram-packed with quality cars. We're not looking at basic cars here. Most of the cars here are very, very special that they'd really make you stop and look if you just saw them on their own. Now, two cars that I missed here actually are these two LM002s, but yeah, I mean, we gotta keep going. So I did miss this section before. We have a Hennessy Venom. So this was technically faster than a Bugatti Veyron, but to a normal person, it kind of looks like a Lotus Elise. In pictures, it looks a lot crazier. In person, it honestly doesn't seem that long like it does in pictures, but this car, absolute steal. I think they're still like $300,000-$400,000, which is unbelievable for a car like this. But then behind it is the new version of the car, the Hennessy F5. These cars are crazy. Close to 2,000 horsepower, absolutely raw. These things are so cool. So when I say the greatest car show of all time, you can't have the greatest car show of all time without the greatest car of all time, which is why in front of me right now is the greatest car of all time. Of course, there had to be at least one. We got a McLaren F1. Not only do we have a McLaren F1, this one has the high downforce package. Next to that, same thing with a P1 with a high downforce package, matching specs with the orange accents on the interior. But come on, right here sitting in front of us is easily $20 million, not including that P1. This is absolutely wild. Like, this is the greatest car show ever, and I think it might even keep going there. So we're gonna go check that out too. But like, let's take a moment to appreciate it. We're standing in front of a McLaren F1 after we just saw Veneno, Sesto Elemento, Reventon, like 60 Bugattis, like 30 Paganis, a bunch of Koenigseggs, and we still have a McLaren F1 to top all that off. And again, speaking of Koenigsegg, there's one like right there, and we're not even paying attention to it. This is absolutely wild. But yeah, the matching spec, P1 HDK next to the F1 HDK. This has to be the greatest car show of all time. I mean, we're looking at the F1, and if you can see in the background right there, how is this even real? This is absolutely wild. But let's keep moving because this video is probably going to be over an hour, so we got to start speeding things up. But yes, go absolute right here, full exposed carbon. It's crazy that like the overflow, like random cars just did somewhere here, will be like an Ascenza V12. Like, what? So sorry, it's a bit loud in this section, but the one thing I didn't realize until now, where the show is kind of full, as you can see, this is not any Huayra. This is a manual Huayra, which I believe is the only one, or one of very, very few. But this is insanely cool.
Leonardo in the past spent most of his time between Florence and Milan, and he was just in Milan in this balcony, last floor of this balcony, and he was on this street, which is 300-400 meters from the Last Supper, the place where the creation from Leonardo is every day. And he was looking downstairs, and there was a vintage car crossing the street, and it was the Porsche 356 Speedster. Show you the car.
So the Catalunga Speedster is out, and the cool thing is it is a manual transmission. And then we got the coupe right here, very, very cool. Now Tim Cook is here as well. I think he came to see the unveiling of this, but he's swamped with people taking pictures. But yeah, look at this, so freaking cool. Nice duo of cars right here. The back end of this is so sick. This car's so long and it's so cool. But yeah, they kind of had a little mess up, which I don't know if they noticed. So the car just got unveiled now, but when they set up the booth, they had the picture of all the Paganis, and it was already shown here. Highlight of the show has to be the coffee. So we are back at the Catalunga Speedster right now. Now there's nobody really here, but if you look at the seats, it's actually a really cool detail I just noticed. You have the kind of signature Pagani exhaust logo all over the interior. The manual as well. I mean, this is... the design of the interior is absolutely wild. The green carbon fiber everywhere with this matte kind of teal green finish, the two-tone mirrors. This is a crazy spec compared to like this like kind of more like elegant type of spec on the coupe. But man, like the display here overall, unbelievable. So pretty cool combo of cars here. We have a Revuelto with carbon hood, matte black, some body kit on it with a spoiler, but then the Valor and the Valiant, the two manual V12 Aston Martins, like $3 million a piece pretty much. But yeah, just outside of the event, there's a few more cars over there. So we have a black A12 comp right outside, and in front of it we have the two Hennessy's, the Venom and the Venom F5. Now the difference is gigantic. You know, the car in front has 1900 horsepower, but this is the OG. This is the one I grew up on, the one that beat the Bugatti Veyron speed record, and is weirdly significantly cheaper than a Bugatti Veyron. And we're talking, this one sold for about $500,000. Just parked out here in the Hotel Valet area. We got a Chiron Porsche Sport pulling up. The A12 comp is leaving. I don't think we might be in the right spot, guys. Oh, one seat's red, one seat's black on that. I didn't even realize. That's really cool. Man, we got the yellow one. Yeah, definitely right spot. So guys, that is a wrap for an unbelievable event. I genuinely don't think we're ever going to see an event to this scale, this quantity and this quality of cars, because again, look around us. I don't think something like this is ever in history going to happen again. So I'm just going to stand here for a little bit, try to savor the moment, and I'll see you guys tomorrow most likely.